good afternoon and welcome back for our second contest between the Lady Buffs of West Texas A&M University and the University of Texas Permian Basin, the Lady Falcons. As our first game today went with basically, in essence, a walk-off. The Buffs won that 8-0 as we watched the way that at the plate for the Lady Buffs was Belforte, who's able to get a hit, and coming around to score, Diana Murtha, and that was the 8th run, and that's how the Lady Buffs won it. They enjoyed that win over UTPB, and again improved to 13-0. 4-0 in conference play by UTPB falls to 4-11, and 1-6 in conference play. And so Lady Buffs enjoying that victory. And again, Dinah Murtha had a double play to end the 5th inning as she was playing up on a hard hit to her with a runner at second base, and she was able to make a double play by grabbing it and throwing it out to second for the force out. That ended the 5th inning, and that was really the best chance UTPB had to score in the first ball game today, as they are out exchanging lineup cards right now. You can see Coach Mook out there along with Sam Mendez, the head coach for UTPB. Clouds have made their way back here to Schaefer Field, where it's kind of been in and out all day, but for the most part cloudy, and our temperature has stayed right where it started in game 1, 61 degrees. Wind is coming out of the southwest at 13 miles per hour. And so, again, cloudy conditions for this one to get it started. We'll see if the sun peeks out later on here in this second of 2 today. Of course, they will play tomorrow. Also, UTPB will stay in town and play a third game. That, of course, will get underway tomorrow as well. But right now it's game number 2 as we get set for what the Lady Buffs are getting set to visit Abby Cousins for UTPB. It'll be Emily Boyer starting out in the circle for the Lady Buffs. She also will be batting today, as she will be batting in the 3rd spot. And so as we take a look as the officials, an umpire took off running. I think he was just loosening up a little bit, getting ready to go in this one. So defensively for the Buffaloes, it will be Rufus in left field, Salzman in center, and Guzman in right. It'll be Martha at third base, Johnson at shortstop, McConnell at second, and Gerke will be at first base. Braylon Booth will be behind the plate for Emily Boyer as Emily makes her way out to get her warm-up tosses in. And so Booth comes behind the plate and will get set to receive the warm-up tosses from Emily Booth. Some other scores we can give you real quick in the Lone Star Conference in baseball. WT men up in Pueblo, Colorado, taking on MSU Billings, and they won that one comfortably 22-5. The Buffaloes had 19 hits. Also had 2 errors in that one, and that's one of the things I know they've been working on, is trying to eliminate those errors. But nevertheless, they won 22-5. Women's basketball, WT won over Lubbock Christian 88-79 down in Lubbock. We know that the men were at the half, and they were leading 28-20 over Lubbock Christian, and so that's the last score we have on that contest today. For UTPB, as they get set to come out and get the bats going in this one, their center fielder will lead things off, Arceli Ariza. She is a senior from El Paso, so she'll lead things off. In the last contest, she was 0 of 2 at the plate, grounding out to third base both times. And so she'll settle in to face Emily Boyer. Boyer settles in, ready to go. Here's a shot towards second. McConnell comes up throwing it over. And Gerke able to pull that one in as Ariza is retired 4-3 for out number 1. And the Buffs won game 1, 8-0. Julia Bumford will come up. They've moved her up in the lineup. She was hitting third in our first game. She's hitting second in this one. Bumford was 1 for 2 at the plate, had a single in the fourth inning. Again, coming into today, she was batting .355.
Yeah!
And looks at a strike. Bumford from Prosper, Texas. Looks at a pitch low for a ball. That evens the count at 1-1. Again, good crowd on hand for game one, and similar good crowd here for game two. Not bad conditions today, wind blowing out, but 61, as we said, for the first pitch. Bit windy, but it's blowing out to center field. There's a half swing. That's there for a strike. So Emily Boyer ahead in the count, 1-2. Lady Buffs. Gerke at first, McConnell at second, Johnson at short, and Murtha at third base. Rufus, Salzman, and Guzman from left to right. Behind the plate is Booth, and she pulls that one in. That's a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Stephanie Jimenez in the on-deck circle for UTPB. Again, Bryce Sheets coming in for this one today, sitting in for Lucas Kinsey. Pitch on the way, off speed is high for a ball. So that runs the count to 3-2. So Boyer settles in. Right toe on the pitching rubber. Right-hander comes home with it. Off-speed pitch is fouled out of play. Boyer, freshman from Harrisburg, South Dakota. .61 freshman, settles in, ready to go. Boyer comes home with it. That's fouled off. Good fastball. Fouled off at the plate. Bumford stays alive. 3-2. Boyer settles in, ready to go. So too is Bumford. Third baseman for UTPB. Off-speed pitch hit towards the shortstop. Johnson comes up, throwing over to first in time for the putout, as Bumford is retired 6-3 for out number 2. That'll bring up Stephanie Jimenez. Jimenez also moves up in the lineup. Basically, they moved everybody up a spot, and Emily Andrus, who led off the first game, has dropped down to the 9 spot. Jimenez batting from the right side. In the last ball game, she struck out twice. Looks at ball one. Jimenez from Huffington Park, California. Played at Weatherford College. Junior batting from the right side. Sends this one right up the middle for a base hit. So Jimenez gets the first hit of the ball game, gets aboard. So Jimenez over at first, and that'll bring up Melena Lopez, the designated player. Lopez in the last ball game today was 0 for 2. She struck out twice as well. Lopez settles in, ready to go. Pitch is outside. Oh, nope, got the outside corner for a strike. So Lopez down in the count, 0-1. 2 outs here in the top of the first. just underway at Schaefer Park. Time taken. Boyer taking her time on the pitch being sent in from Braylon Booth. Lopez from Leander, Texas. All-speed pitch. Misses on the outside. So that's a 1-1 count now for Milena Lopez. Lopez batting from the left side. Booth. Boyer, long look in at Booth. And that's a good fastball that Lopez could not catch up to. She's down in the count. That pitch is going to be just a little high. So that evens the count at 2-2.
Get after it. Come on. Let's go. Get it down right here.
So it's 2-2 count for Lopez. Off-speed pitch, got her swinging, strikeout. And that is out number 3. First strikeout for Emily Boyer. And so no runs as we watch here on the replay. And again, from Emily Boyer, just a good pitch to the left-handed hitter. And off-speed pitch came in, and that was rung up at strike 3. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We have played half an inning, no score. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Welcome back to Schaefer Park as Abby Cousins gets her final warm-up tosses in. So it'll be Cousins on the hill. It'll be Quintero behind the plate, Jimenez at first, Sanford at second, Andres at short, and Bumfield at third. Marquez will be in left field, Arizas will be in center, and Beggs will be in right for the Lady Falcons. Maddie Johnson will lead things off for the Lady Buffs. Johnson comes up. Maddie was 1 for 3 in the first game today. Maddie batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch down low. Pitch on the way. He's going to be outside for a ball. Well, or maybe not. Called a strike on that one. From my standpoint, it looked like a ball. So Pitch on the way. Outside corner is a strike. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball. Here's the pitch. High for ball. So that runs the count to 3-2. So Maddie will settle back in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Maddie settles in. Here's the pitch from Cousins, and that is low for ball 4. So Cousins, with her first walk of the day, sends the leadoff batter down to first base. And that'll bring up Ruby Salzman. Salzman batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. Pitch is way outside for a ball. Salzman, in our last game, she was 1 for 3 at the plate. She had a double, got thrown out trying to stretch that double to a triple, but she also knocked in 3 runs. She also flew out twice in her first 2 at-bats. Cousins, outside pitch, misses for, got the outside corner for a strike. So it evens the count at 1-1. Salzman settles back in, ready to go. Salzman drives this out to right to center field, and that's going to be a base hit. So Salzman on at first. Maddie Johnson stops at second base. That'll bring up Emily Boyer. Boyer makes her way to the plate.
Pitcher number 32, Emily Boyer.
Boyer batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. That's on the outside corner for a strike. Emily batting from the right side. Sends this one out into shallow center field, and that's going to be a base hit as the center fielder can't come up with it and throws it away trying to get it to second base. So the base paths are full. Let's see if they give that as a hit. As we watch on the replay. Quick conversation. Watch as Boyer just skies this one out to right center. And Ariza comes up and just couldn't find the handle on it. So bases are full of Lady Buffs for Diana Murtha. was 2 for 3, but she was on base all 3 times, so she was really 2 for 2 because she walked once. So Murtha makes her way up.
Go deep.
So Murtha batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. Looks at a strike, good fastball on the outside corner. Diana down on the count, 0-1. Murtha just very steady. Settles in, Johnson at third, Salzman at second, Boyer at first. That's the outside corner, misses for a ball. So 1-1 the count on Diana Murtha. Murtha with a big open stance. Sun coming out now behind the clouds. That's way outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Bases are loaded of Lady Buffs. UTPB got the first hit of the ball game. Got that back in the top of the first, but couldn't do anything with it. Lady Buffs with 3 runners aboard, no outs. Here in the bottom of the first, Abby Cousins. Murtha sends this one skyward, and that's going to be infield fly, and that's going to be out for out number 1. So Murtha flies out to the second baseman.
Number 34, Lauren Granger.
That'll bring up Lauren Granger. Lauren came up in the last ball game, had a fielder's choice. Also got a board. Well, 2 fielder's choices actually. Granger. Check swing, it's out. Side corner for a strike. Granger settles back in. Lauren, the freshman from Minnetonka, Minnesota. Batting from the right side. Looks at a ball. She's the designated player in this game. She's got 1-1 count. And it does a little shimmy with the shoulders and settles back in, ready to go. Base paths are full of Lady Buffs. That's going to be fouled off at the plate. Abby Cousins, senior from Needville, Texas. Played at Texas A&M Commerce.
Keep fighting, keep fighting. Go, Lauren.
Granger settles in, ready to go. Drives this one out to center field for a base hit. 2 runs will come across for the Lady Buffs here. Well, I'll say that. Here's the slide to plate. That is good. It's coming around. Ruby Salzman scores. So Lady Buffs take the early 2-0 lead as Johnson and Salzman come around to come home on the hit from Lauren Granger. And you watch right here, Lauren just got nice extension when she got a hold of this Abby Cousins offering. She showed the bunt, then pulls the bat back and sends it out to center field for a base hit. Lady Buffs have runners at first and second. Boyer at second, Granger at first. And Julie Guzman up at the plate, looks at a ball outside. Guzman playing in right field today. Julie from Reseda, California. The junior batting from the right side.
Power 3-1, Julie.
Drives this out to right field for a base hit. So back-to-back hits, loads the bases once again for the Lady Buffs. So Lady Buffs with 4 hits now in the inning. That'll bring up Gabby McConnell, the second baseman. Gabby was 2 for 2 in our first game today. She had 2 singles. First pitch is hit out to center field. Everybody tagging up. That one's caught. So a run will come home to score. And Boyer comes on home for the 3rd run of the first inning. Granger advances to 3rd. And Gabby McConnell flies out to center but gets a RBI. It's the second out in the inning. So that'll bring up Megan Gerke, the junior from Alexandria, South Dakota, playing first base in this ball game. She settles in, batting from the right side. Gerke, as the runner heads to second base. So Guzman on at second. 2 outs. So Guzman at second, Lauren Granger at third. 2 outs. Megan Gerke head in the count 1-0. Megan settles in, ready to go. That's inside for a ball. So 2-0 from Abby Cousins. Gerke to be followed by Brittany Rufus. So Gerke, the 8th batter in the inning for the Lady Buffs. They lead at 3-0 here at the bottom of the first. And that's a good pitch that just misses low. So 3-0 the count for Gerke. Gerke settles in. That pitch on the outside corner is called strike. So 3 balls and a strike on the junior. Again, playing at first base today in this second game. Gerke settles in. Drives that down the third base line, but just foul. That almost was the perfect stroke right there. And so you watch on the replay here, just got all the way around on that one, sent it foul. So runs the count full at 3-2. So Cousins gets ready for her 3-2 pitch, trying to get out of the inning. 3 runs across for the Lady Buffs. That's popped up down the third base line. And shortstop, Hendricks goes over and pulls that one in. So Gerke is out on a pop to the shortstop for out number 3. But Lady Buffs do get 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors in the inning. And 2 left on base for the Lady Buffs. We have played 1 complete. WT leads this one 3-0. We're back after this.
Went for a onside kick, landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
see the wind blowing here at Schaefer Park, and again out of the south-southwest, although it's switched a little to the southeast now, about 13 to 15. Anything in the air is going to go out to left field. Will go up in the jet stream just a little bit. Lady Buffs lead it 3-0, 3 runs on 4 hits. Emily Boyer comes out for her second inning of work, and she'll face the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the lineup. First pitch is low for a ball to Mia Quintera. She had a double and walked in the first game today. Has that back foot or that left foot almost out of the batter's box. Big open stance, now brings it in. That's going to be low for a ball. So she's ahead in the count 2-0. Lady Buffs won the first game 8-0 in 5. Lead this one 3-0. Emily Boyer in her second inning of work. That pitch misses for ball 3. So 3-0 to Quintero. Cheyenne Marquez in the on-deck circle, then Aubrey Beggs. So the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the lineup for the Lady Falcons. Quintero settles in, ready to go. Big open stance, and then brings that leg up. Looks at a strike. Boyer came home with that one. Boyer settles in. Quintero pitches inside for a ball. So that's her first walk of the day. So runner at first base, Mia Quintero. That'll bring up Cheyenne Marquez. Marquez, in the first game today, struck out and walked. She was 0-1 at the plate. Marquez at a Monahans. Looks at a strike. Cheyenne settles back in, batting from the right side. Speed pitch. Got her looking for strike 2. So a couple of nice pitches for Emily Boyer. Gets ahead in the count, 0-2. Pitch on the way is going to be outside for a ball. Runs the count to 1-2. Gerke over at first base, and also McConnell at second, both wearing the sunglasses. And I think so too is Guzman in right field, battling the sun a little bit. So Marquez with a 1-2 count. Boyer comes home with it. That's going to be drilled out into right center field. That'll be a base hit. And quickly Guzman gets that in for the Lady Buffs. So Marquez with a hit, so runners at first and second here in the top of the second is action in the WT bullpen. Gerke comes over, quick words for Emily Boyer. She faces Aubrey Beggs. Beggs 0 for 2. She flew out to left field twice in our first game today. Beggs settles in, ready to go, and that pitch is in there for a strike. Infield charging first and third, anticipating a bunt. Beggs settles in, ready to go. Throws button down. They're going to call a strike on that. Missed it. So she's down in the count 0-2. No outs here. Top of the second inning. Runners at first and second. Marquez at first. Quintero at second. Best opportunity Lady Falcons have really had today on the base pass. Boyer comes home with it. Off-speed pitches outside for a ball. Runs the count to 1-2. Everybody checks with Braylon Booth on what the pitch is going to be. Then they retreat. But both Gerke and Martha playing in. That's fouled back at us. Keeps the count at 1-2. Runs the count to 1-2 still. Did they call her out? They called her out.
How about another Scarborough strikeout?
So that they called a strikeout. Or begs because she apparently went out of the batter's box. So that is out number 1. That'll bring up Carrie Sanford, the second baseman. So 1 out here in the top of the second. 3-0, Lady Buffs lead. Sanford is the one that hit that line shot back in the 5th inning to Martha. As Diana able to get a glove on it and make a double play, throwing the runner out at second base. Martha just played that so well. So no 1 count on Sanford. Boyer trying to pitch out of a bit of a jam with 2 aboard. 1 out here in the top of the second. Outside corner, misses for a ball. Really a nice job by Booth trying to buy that as a strike. Tried to frame it really well. Boyer settles in as the sun comes out full now. She has to shade her eyes to look in at what the pitch is that Booth is calling. Off-speed pitch is high for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. After Carrie Sanford will be Emily Andrus. Sanford settles in, ready to go, batting from the left side. And there's a strike called. So that evens the count at 2-2. Lady Buffs 3 runs on 4 hits. UTPB no runs on 2 hits. Sanford settles back in, batting from the left side. Takes a swing and strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Emily Boyer. Yes. We watch right here. This is the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for her. And again, just got her check swing. And so that's out number 2. To bring up Emily Andrus. Again, still 2 runners aboard as Quintero got aboard with a walk and is at second. Cheyenne Marquez singled her over to second. She's at first. 2 outs. Emily Andrus, the number 9 hitter in the lineup in this ball game. Again, she was the leadoff hitter in game number 1. Andrus struck out twice. Looks at a strike right there. So 0-1 the count. on the shortstop for UTPB. Some action in the WT bullpen area. Andrus settles in, ready to go, batting from the left side. It's fouled off back at us.
Now you got her, now you got her.
So no 2 count on Emily Andrus. Emily Boyer gets the new baseball, settles back in, or the new softball settles back into the circle. She gets set, ready to go. Boyer with the 0-2 count. Time taken by Andrus as Boyer was taking too much time. There's a pitch right back to Boyer, over to first in time for the putout. And so Emily Andrus is retired 1-3 for out number 3. And we watch on the replay. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. As we watch the strikeout right here, Andrus, or I should say strikeout, hits it back to the pitcher. And Emily Boyer over to first for the 1-3 putout. That's the end of the top of the second. 3-0 Lady Buffs lead. Coming to the bottom of the second, we'll take a timeout and be back on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to MediDrive Pharmacy. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to console you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly professional service and the highest quality of medicine and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your health care needs.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
And we go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Brittany Rufus to lead things off. Rufus playing out in left field today. Then we go to the top of the order, Maddie Johnson and Ruby Salzman. And for Rufus, she came up to the plate in the second inning and had an in the park home run. And that pushed the WT lead at that point to 4-0. Again, she just got a hold of one, sent it out in the wind, and it went out to deep right center field and then careened off of the fence, so that allowed her to get around the bases. Looks at a pitch. She kind of runs up to look like she's going to slap it. So Rufus settles in. 1-0 the count. They have 2-0 on the board. Now it's 2-0. Oh, it is a 3-0 count. So 3-0 count on Rufus. Abby Cousins comes home with it, and that's in there for a strike. Three to nothing our score. So Brittany settles in, batting from the left side, shows bunt, pulls the bat back, check swings, that foul. Maddie Johnson retrieves it, sends it back into the field of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the WT left fielder. Again, the center fielder, Ariza, playing in. And again, that's what she did last time, or when she hit the home run. It was over Ariza's head. Check swing down the third base line. Here's a throw, not in time. As Brittany Rufus will get aboard with a single. And so you watch this kind of check swing bunt for Rufus. She shows bunt. And check swing down the third base line. Third baseman Bumford comes up throwing, but is way late. They're playing back deep, so really not a play. Rufus aboard at first base. That'll bring up Madison Johnson. Maddie, who walked and scored her last at bat, facing Abby Cousins. Here's a throw down to second, not in time, as Brittany Rufus steals second base. You watch as she's off with a pitch. And there she goes. Pitch was a ball, by the way, so nice steal for Brittany Rufus. Puts her in scoring position for Maddie Johnson. Should she get a hold of one? Johnson drives this down to third base. They look her back at second, and then now Rufus comes to third with it. So she'll advance, but Maddie Johnson is retired 5-3. Round number one. That'll bring up Ruby Salzman. Salzman, 5'6" senior from Northridge, California. Batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. Said Ruby coming in today was batting .455. Drives this one down the left field line, foul. She got all the way around on that one. Salzman was 1 for 3 at the plate in the first game and had a single in this one and came around to score. So Salzman settles in, ready to go. Cousins ahead in the count, 0-1. Salzman drives this one down the left field line, and that one is gone. A 2-run home run as Rufus comes home to score. And Ruby Salzman gives the Lady Buffs a 5-0 lead. And she got a hold of all of that one, sent it down the left field line over the 190 mark in left field. And you watch here, she gets ready to go. Salzman gives that a ride out the left field, and it is gone. That'll bring up Emily Boyer, starting pitcher for the Lady Buffs. She's staked to a 5-0 lead now. Boyer was on board with a single and came around to score her last at bat. Looks at a pitch inside for a ball. Bottom of the second inning, Lady Buffs lead 5-0. It's going to be outside for a ball. So 2-0 the count for Emily Boyer. We followed by Diana Murtha. Boyer settles in, rests the bat on her right shoulder. Now is ready to go. Takes a swing at an off-speed pitch. Missed that one, so she's at a 2-1 count against her. One out here in the bottom of the second. 2 runs across on 2 hits for the Lady Buffs here in the inning. Emily Boyer looks at a pitch outside for a ball. So it runs the count to 3-1 as the sun has gone back behind the clouds once again. Boyer settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Drives this one foul down the right field line. That runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. In the on-deck circle, Diana Murtha. Boyer settles in, ready to go. From Harrisburg, South Dakota. Drives this one down the left field line in for a base hit. So she'll get aboard with a single, back-to-back hits for Emily Boyer. So that'll bring up Murtha. So Diana Murtha and Lauren Granger. And we're going to have a pitch runner, I think, for the Lady Buffs. Most likely for Boyer. So coming out to run at first base for the Lady Buffs will be Malaya Delphine out of San Diego. Also had a pitching change. The new pitcher is Evelyn Duran. She's a sophomore out of El Paso, Texas. She gets her final warm-up toss. Didn't even know they had made a pitching change. So the Buffs were making a running change with courtesy runner over at first base for Boyer. Diana Murtha watches here as Evelyn Duran gets out her final warm-ups. So you can't close the books yet on Abby Cousins. She's gone an inning and a third.
Third baseman number 12,
She
Diana
has
Murtha.
7 hits, 5 runs. All 5 of them earned. She walked 1. And she is accountable for the runner at first base, Delphine. Diana Murtha settles in, ready to go, facing Emily Duran. Duran throws a strike. Diana Murtha settles back in, ready to go, batting from the right side. She's flat out. Her last at bat, that one is way over her head, the catcher's head that is, and so that allows for courtesy runner for Boyer to get to second base. So Delphine over at second. So 1-1 count for Diana Murtha. Lauren Granger in the on-deck circle for the Lady Buffs. That one misses outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike for Evelyn Duran. Duran on in relief of Abby Cousins, who went an inning and a third. Murtha sends this one down the third base line. Here's a quick throw over in time. And going to third base, Delphine on the throw. So Murtha has retired 5 to 3 for out number 2.
Lady number 34, Lauren Granger.
And that'll bring up Lauren Granger, the designated player in today's second contest. Granger had a single her last at bat. Was left stranded at third base in the first inning. Granger batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch way outside for a ball. Granger. The freshman settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Bit of an open stance. That's outside for ball 2. So a 2-0 count on the designated player for the Lady Buffs. Runner at third base. It's Delphine. She's the courtesy runner for Boyer. Off-speed pitch. Got Granger swinging. So runs the count to 2-1. So Granger regains what she wants to do with the bat. Settles back in again, batting from the right side. Check swing. That's going to be low for ball 3. So 3-1 the count on the freshman from Minnetonka, Minnesota. Granger settles back in. 2 outs here in the top or bottom of the second inning. Lady Buffs have already scored 2. And that's going to be low for a ball, and Granger gets aboard with a walk. Second walk of the ball game for UTPB pitching. So Granger heads down to first.
Right fielder number 2, Julie Guzman.
That'll bring up Julie Guzman, who got aboard on a single her last at bat. She was left stranded at second base. 2 outs, 2 runs across. Lady Buffs lead at 5-0. Guzman settles in, batting from the right side. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back. Granger heads down to second base. So runners at second and third. Delphine at third, Granger at second for Julie Guzman. 0-1 pitch on the way. That one misses for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. UTPB had a runner aboard in the first, had 2 aboard in the second with no outs and couldn't get him home. Way outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike for the right fielder for the Lady Buffs. 5'4" junior settles back in, batting from the right side. Foul tip, she fouled that off her foot. So they're going to call that strike 2. So a 2-2 count on Guzman, and she couldn't run because that hit the inside part of her foot, and that stings. So 2-2 is the pitch count as Coach Mook looks on. Guzman batting from the right side. That's inside for a ball. Runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gabby McConnell in the on-deck circle for the Lady Buffs, leading 5-0. Guzman settles in, ready to go. Fouls this one off at the plate. Keeps the count full at 3-2. Evelyn Duran on in relief of Abby Cousins. Cousins went an inning and a third. Duran has gone a third of an inning. Trying to get out right here without any more damage. Lady Buffs with runners at second and third. And now first, second, and third as Guzman takes a free pass. It's back-to-back walks for Duran.
Second baseman, number 10, Gabby McConnell.
So to bring up Gabby McConnell. She flew out to center field her last at bat in the first inning. McConnell batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. 5-0. Lady Buffs lead this one here in the bottom of the second inning. That's in there for a strike. Gabby, the eighth batter here in the inning. Buffs sent 8 in the first, scored 3 runs. They sent up their 8th here now, scored 2 runs. And bases are full of Lady Buffs, nowhere to put anybody. So Gabby McConnell will settle back in, ready to go. It's going to be inside for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Making Gerke in the on-deck circle. Should she get the bat, she would be the 9th batter here in the inning. Brittany Rufus led things off with a single and came around to score on the home run by Ruby Salzman. Outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Time taken, quick conversation with Evelyn Duran as the catcher Quintero wants to visit with her. And now their head coach Sue Mendez comes out to visit with the right-hander as well. Just make sure everybody's on the same page with the bases loaded. Nobody warming up in the UTPB bullpen area. There is action in the WT bullpen. Because the other side of this, Emily Boyer's been sitting for quite a while.
Go, Gabby!
So Sue Mendez slowly walks back to the dugout. Now the umpire goes out and breaks up the conversation out in the circle as they make Gabby McConnell wait on the 3-1 pitch. So 3-1 for McConnell. No place to put her, so this has got to come home. That's fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 3-2. Again, Duran only on in relief here in the bottom of the second. She's pitched 16 pitches so far. And she walks in a run, so that's the 3rd walk given up by Duran. Gabby McConnell will be credited with an RBI. She drives in a run. That's her 2nd RBI of the ball game. So that'll bring up Gerke. Gerke, who popped up to the first baseman, or the shortstop, her last at bat and the first inning. Umpire walks out, something down the first base line. I don't know if a ball got away from them warming up there in the UTPB bullpen area. So Gerke comes up ready to go. Drives this one down the right field line, and that's going to be caught. And so that'll be out number 3 as she flies out to right for out number 3. But the Lady Buffs do get 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors in the inning and 3 left on base. We have played 2 complete. Lady Buffs lead this one 6-0. We'll take a timeout and be back for the UTPB.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, welcome back to Schaefer Park. Lady Buffs lead this one 6-0 as you can see the cloudy skies here in Canyon. Lady Buffs out defensively now for the top of the 3rd inning, leading 6-0. And we go to the top of the order. Araceli Ariza will lead things off. She grounded out to the second baseman, her last at bat.
Leading off for the Falcons, center fielder number 19, Araceli Ariza.
So Ariza settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side here in the top of the 3rd, facing Emily Boyer. She's on in her 3rd inning of work.
Yeah!
She's allowed 2 hits so far. She throws a strike. Again, the question I had is there is action in the WT bullpen, but she sat for a long time. She did get a hit, so she was out. She was 2 for 2 at the plate. Off-speed pitch is a strike. Good pitch. That had Ariza fooled. So she's down in the count 0-2. Ariza settles back in, ready to go. 0-2 pitch from Emily Boyer. It's fouled down the right field line. Oh, nice diving effort by Gerke. Megan Gerke just kind of dove with that one, almost came up with it. Instead, it just stays as a strike, so it's an 0-2 count on Ariza. Julia Bumford in the on-deck circle, then Stephanie Jimenez, 1, 2, and 3 to lead off this inning. Top of the 3rd, 6-0, Lady Buffs lead it. That's fouled off at the plate. Ariza settles back in, batting from the right side. Still down in the count 0-2, so she has to protect the plate. And that's outside for a ball. So 1-2 the count on Ariza. You can see in the UTPB bullpen area, they do have somebody trying to get loose. A 1-2 count for Ariza. Pitch on the way. All speed hit right at Murtha, who gloves that one. Line shot, and she's out for out number 1. And you watch the replay here. Just another great play by Diana at third base. Just grabs that one right above the shoelaces. That's out number 1. That'll bring up Julia Bumford, who is grounded out to the shortstop. Johnson threw her out. Take that back. She threw her out 6-3. This one she fouls off and out of play. So no 1 count on Julia Bumford, playing at third base. Bumford settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Outside for a ball. That evens the count at 1-1. Lights have come on now here at Schaefer Park. Given the cloudy conditions have brought in a little bit of darkness, so they've turned the lights on. So the 1-1 pitch on the way. Good pitch inside for a ball, though. Trying to get that to paint the black part of the plate. Trying to draw a strike, but couldn't do it. Bumford settles in, ready to go. Off-speed pitch is fouled off and out of play. So that evens the count at 2-2. Infield playing in. One out. Nobody aboard. Off-speed pitch just misses outside. Runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bumford settles back in, ready to go. Julia Jr. settles in, batting from the right side. Outside that pitch misses for ball 4. So she gets aboard with a walk. Second walk given up by Emily Boyer.
First baseman number 22, Stephanie Jimenez.
So Jimenez comes up. She singled her last at bat. Stephanie, 1 for 1 today at the plate in game number 2. Jimenez batting from the right side. She is batting in the 3 spot in this ball game. Looks at a pitch outside or outside corner for a strike. So 0-1 the count on Jimenez. Stephanie settles back in, ready to go. Trying to squat down a little more. Fouls this one off at the plate and out of play. So that runs the count to 0-2. Jimenez from Huffington Park, California, played at Weatherford College. She's a junior. She looks to be about 6 feet tall, so again, she tries to shrink the strike zone just a little bit. Kind of gets in a crouch right here, and then tries to go a little lower. That one misses for a ball. So 1-2 the count. Jimenez, batting from the right side, settles back in, ready to go. Runner at first base is Julia Bumford. Melena Lopez in the on-deck circle. That's hit out to center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Quick throw in, not in time, as Bumford will get down to second base. Nice try by Salzman. Got it quickly and threw it back in, just not in time. So runners at first and second again for UTPB. Bumford over at second. Stephanie Jimenez at first. She is 2 for 2 at the plate today. And that'll bring up Malia Lopez, who struck out her last at bat. That pitch is inside for a ball. Lopez has struck out all 3 plate appearances today. Gets the ball on that call. She leads in the count 1-0. Emily Boyer. That's going to be hit down to Bertha over at first, and so she'll get Lopez out 5-3 for round number 2. But everybody advances. Jimenez over at second And Bumford over at third. That's the first time in either game today that UTPB has had a runner at third base. So best scoring opportunity for UTPB is right now as everybody goes out and gathers around Emily Boyer. So make sure everybody's on the same page with runners at second and third, what they're going to do. Umpire has yet to go out to break up the convo out on the circle. Now he slowly does. So Boyer trying to get the third out right here. Runners at second and third. Quintero, who walked her last at bat, was left stranded at second base. Up for her second opportunity in this game. Mia looks at a strike on the outside corner. So Boyer ahead in the count, 0-1. Boyer settles in, has that right toe on the pitching rubber. Comes home with it. Off-speed pitch misses for a ball. So 1-1 the count. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Quintero settles back in. Calls time. She thinks Boyer has taken too much time. Lady Buff scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second. They lead 6-0. That's going to be popped up down the first base line. Oh, and trying to slide over there. Nice play by Megan Gerke. Just couldn't come up with it. She had to slide in order to avoid going into the fence. Just couldn't come up with the softball. Does run the count to 1-2 on Quintero. Quintero settles back in, ready to go. Boyer comes home with it, and that's going to be popped down the first base line once again. And giving chase and pulling that one in is McConnell. And so Quintero pops up to the second baseman for out number 3. So no runs on one hit. No runs, no errors in the inning, and 2 left on base. We have played 2.5, I should say. Lady Buffs lead at 6-0. We're back after this. Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Some other softball scores. Oklahoma Christian beat Texas A&M International 6-3 earlier today. Men's basketball, WT1, down at Lubbock Christian. As we go to the bottom of the third, Brittany Rufus will lead things off for the Lady Buffs. Rufus, who singled, looks at ball 1. facing Evelyn Duran here in the bottom of the third inning. And now we've got a question from Sam Mendez with the home plate umpire. Not sure. Catcher walked out there to check with Duran. I think they wanted to check and see if she's okay. Now the trainer is going to go out. She's kind of limping a little bit. She's pointing to her right shoulder. And so, see if they're going to make a pitching change. And that is probably the case, as they're going to go to the bullpen. So we got a pitching change, and so we'll take a timeout. We'll do so and come back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Went for a onside kick. Landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Since 1910, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences has provided high-quality education to the students of the Panhandle and beyond.
At WT, professors know me and are committed to my success.
If you want to get an ag industry job, WT is where you need to be.
I don't want just a job and a paycheck after graduation. I want a career where I can make a difference.
WT invested in my career. I intend to pay it forward.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our...
So Riley Johnson comes in relief. Johnson, a freshman from Colorado City. First pitch to Brittany Rufus is a ball. So 2-0 the count on Brittany. That's high for a ball. So 3-0. So for Evelyn Duran, she felt something in her shoulder. Her catcher noticed it right away after that first pitch to Rufus and went out, and that's when they decided to make the pitching change. Riley Johnson inside for ball 4. And so Brittany Rufus ahead are on board for the second time in the ball game.
Shortstop number 17, Madison Johnson.
So that'll bring up Madison Johnson, the shortstop. We go back to the top of the order. So Johnson, who is 0 for 1, she walked in the first and came around to score, then grounded out in the second inning. Now comes up for her third opportunity here in the bottom of the third. Johnson settles in, and that is inside, and Rufus heads down to second base. So ball 1 to Maddie Johnson. So Maddie Johnson settles back in. Batting from the right side. That's in there for a strike. So that evens the count at 1-1. That's the first strike thrown by Riley Johnson. Johnson, the third pitcher used here in today's game. Abby Cousins went an inning in the third. Evelyn Duran went 2/3 of an inning. Evelyn, as that is a base hit over the first baseman's head. And coming around to score will be Rufus. And a stand-up double for Maddie Johnson. She drives in a run. That makes it 7-0 in favor of the Lady Buffs. And that'll bring up Ruby Salzman, who homered her last at bat. She is 2 for 2 at the plate today. She's also driven in 2 runs. That one gets away from the catcher, and that allows Johnson down to third base. 7-0. So Salzman settles in, batting from the right side. Pitch in the inside corner is there for a strike. Runs the count to 1-1. The senior settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. Buffs lead it 7-0. That's going to be a little nubber out into right field. That'll plate another run for the Lady Buffs. And Salzman drives in another run. She's driven in 3 today as Maddie Johnson comes home to score. That makes it 8-0 in favor of the Lady Buffs. 3 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and here in the third. So Salzman over at first base, and that'll bring up Emily Boyer. Can help her own cause right here. Emily settles in, batting from the right side. Boyer is 2 for 2, 2 singles. She scored 2 runs. That pitch is outside, so Salzman will head down to second base. So Riley Johnson in relief, and again, I don't know how much she got to warm up. Catcher walks out to visit with the freshman. Gives her some encouragement. And so Emily Boyer will settle back in. Ready to go. 1-0 count for Boyer. Lady Buffs lead at 8-0. That's fouled off of the plate. That evens the count at 1-1. And Murtha in the on-deck circle for the Lady Buffs. Bertha settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Boyer 2 for 2 at the plate today. Takes a big cut, but comes up empty. She's 1-2. Michael Mook tells her she's okay. Boyer with a 1-2 count, settles back in, batting from the right side. It's going to be low for a ball. So that evens the count at 2-2. Buffs got a walk from Brittany Rufus. She came around to score on Madison Johnson's double. And then Ruby Salzman had a single to drive in a run. Oh, big cut for Boyer, but comes up empty. First strikeout for Johnson. First strikeout for any of the pitchers for UTPB. First out here in the third. I'll bring up Diana Murtha. We'll check it. We're going to have a pitch hitter for Murtha. Heaven Moreno.
Pitch hitting number 13, Heaven
Moreno pitch hitting for Murtha. Having a freshman from Amarillo. Batting from the right side. Played at Randall High School. Big open stance. Inside pitch, misses for a ball. So Dinah Murtha was 0 for 2 at the plate in this game. Lauren Granger, another freshman, on deck. Moreno, the freshman, looks at an off-speed pitch. It's high. So runs the count to 2-0 from Riley Johnson. Moreno settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. Inside pitch misses for 3-0 count. Runner at second base is Ruby Saltzman. Moreno steps back in. Batting from the right side. That's in there for a strike. So runs the count to 3 balls and a strike. 8-0. Lady Buffs lead this one. Bottom of the third inning. It's fouled off down the first base line, fouling out of play. So runs the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Heaven Moreno, 5'4" freshman from Randall High School in Amarillo, will settle back in with a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Moreno fouls this one off and out of play. Keeps the count at 3-2. Buffs scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 so far here in the third. Have this 8-0 lead. They won the first game today, 8-0. And that's going to be high for ball 4 as Moreno advances to first base. First walk given up by Riley Johnson, 5th for pitching. Coming up to hit, Cheyenne Sanchez comes on to hit for Lauren Granger. Granger was 1 for 1 at the plate, got on base twice with a walk and a single. Cheyenne Sanchez was 0 for 2 at the plate in our first game today. Sanchez comes on for Granger. Looks at ball 1. Sixth batter for the Lady Buffs here in the bottom of the third. They sent 8 to the plate in the first, 9 in the second, and 6 so far here in the third. High for a ball. So she's ahead in the count, 2-0. Bryce Sheets, happy to be coming your way on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. Big thanks to our Thunder Vision crew for bringing you the pictures in this one today. Driven down the left field line, fouling out of play. So that runs the count to 2 balls and a strike for Cheyenne Sanchez. Sanchez, 5'5" junior from Hacienda Heights, California. Sanchez settles back in. Again, the lights are on here at Schaefer Park. Outside corner misses. Runs the count to 3-1. Runners at first and second. Evan Morena at first. Rudy Salzman at second. 2 runs have already come across for the Lady Buffs. That's driven down the left field line, and just curls foul. Nice shot for Cheyenne Sanchez. Turns into a long foul ball. That runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Umpire having to go get some baseballs, some softballs. So 3-2 count for Cheyenne Sanchez. Junior settles in, ready to go, batting from the left side. Pitch is outside for ball 4. That loads the bases as Cheyenne heads down to first. So back-to-back walks for Riley Johnson. And that will bring up Maddie Idle, 5'6" junior. Comes in for Julie Guzman. So Maddie gets a chance at the plate. Geidel came in the first game today and struck out. So Geidel settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Pitch is inside and low for a ball. Geidel, the 7th batter to hit the plate for the Lady Buffs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bases are full of Lady Buffs. Geidel, that pitch is high for a ball. Nice stop by Mia Quintera. As that got by her, 1 run would have at least come home for the Lady Buffs. They lead it 8-0. Idle fouls this one off and out of play. So that runs the count to 2-1. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Bases are full of Lady Buffs. Temperature beginning to drop here just a little bit. Started at 61 degrees when I had our first pitch in this game. That's going to be low inside for a ball. So that runs it to 3 balls and a strike. There's ball 4. And so Maddie Geidel gets aboard with a walk, back-to-back walks. And so that's going to be a quick visit to the hill for Sue Mendez. Buffs have scored 3 runs in this inning. They lead 9-0. Buffs have 3 runs on 1 hit here in the inning. Buffs have 9 runs on 9 hits. Bases are still full. Geidel heads down to first base.
Pitch hitting number 24, Nikki Warren.
So Nikki Warren, 5'3" sophomore from Orangevale, California, comes in to pitch hit for Gabby McConnell. Nikki batting from the right side. And we wait for the umpire. Says, okay, now we're ready to go. Had to change his lineup card. Nikki is the 8th batter here in the inning for the Lady Buffs. Bases are full. Warren. That pitch is down low for a ball. Really got to credit Mia Quintera. She has been jumping and sliding in the dirt and everything to keep the ball from going to the backstop. She really has done a nice job catching for UTPB today. Pitch is going to be outside for a ball. So Nikki Warren with a 2-0 count. Warren settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Warren. That pitch is high for a ball. So 3-0 the count on Nikki Warren. Warren settles back in, batting from the right side. Here comes Johnson's 3-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. Thing is, Riley hasn't really given up any hits. She's only given up, well, she's given up 2 so far. Here's a slow roller hit towards short, over to second in time. And so Buffs get another run as Haven Moreno comes home to score. And Nikki Warren is on at first base in a fielder's choice as Maddie Geidel is retired 6-4 for out number 2. And coming to the plate, Megan Gerke. It's her 3rd plate appearance. She's the 9th batter to come to the plate here in the inning. Flew out to right field her last at bat. Looks at a strike. Should she get aboard, Brittany Rufus, who started off this inning, will come up. Gerke settles in, ready to go. That's driven up the middle, past the shortstop, so another run comes home for the Lady Buffs as Gerke gets aboard with a single. And the Buffs get another run as Nikki Warren goes to second base.
Ruby Moore.
Now we've got a pitch hitter as Ruby Moore comes in for Brittany Rufus. Buffs lead it 11-0. Lady Buffs 11 runs on 10 hits. Had 3 hits in this inning. So Ruby Moore comes up. She's the 10th batter, and that's down in the dirt for a ball. On its second base, Nikki Warren. Over at first base is Megan Gerke. Johnson comes home. That one gets by the catcher, so everybody advances a base. So now runners in scoring position for Ruby Moore. Moore freshman from Maple, Wisconsin. Looks at a pitch outside for a ball. So 3-0 the count on Ruby Moore. Then we go back to the top of the order. Maddie Johnson. And that's inside and tight for ball 4. And so Ruby Moore becomes Riley Johnson's fifth walk of the inning. So bases are full of Lady Buffs, and that'll bring up Madison Johnson. And we got a pitch hitter for Madison, Justine Navarra.
Justine Navarra.
So Navarra comes up. Justine, a junior out of Atwater, California. Batting from the left side, looks at a strike. Justine will settle in, ready to go. Pitches outside for a ball. Lady Buffs lead 11-0. They've scored 5 runs in this inning. That's way high, and it bounced back nicely, careened back to Mia Quintera, who that doesn't allow the base runners to advance. It is a wild pitch, though, for Navarra. So a 2-1 count for Justine. Junior settles in, ready to go. Sends this one, pops it down the third base line. And that's going to be caught by Bumford for out number 3. But the Lady Buffs do get 5 runs.
For your Lady Buffs, 5 runs.
3 hits. There were no errors and 3 left on base. We have played 3 complete. Lady Buffs lead at 11-0. UTPB coming to bat. We'll take a timeout and be back after this with the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, welcome back to Schaefer Park. And I believe, double check, we do have a new pitcher in for the Lady Buffs. Emma Parrish comes on to pitch after that long inning in which Emily Boyer sat for a long time. So coming in to pitch is Emma Parrish. She is a 6-foot sophomore from Frankfort, Illinois. So Parrish will get set to face the number 6 batter in the lineup, which is Cheyenne Marquez for UTPB. Also some switches as Heaven Moreno is over at third base. First base is still Megan Gerke. Trying to see who, I think Johnson is still out there at shortstop. Let's see if Connell came back out to play second. Marquez will lead things off here. Yeah, they're trying to update the stats. They can't get them. New catcher as well for the Lady Buffs. That might be Lauren Granger. So Granger will stay out as the catcher. And Sue Mendez is getting all the changes. Carlos of the darkness, we're not quite sure of who all everyone is, but we have a new pitcher, which is Emma Parrish. Now the umpire puts his pen away, puts his paper away, thinks he's got all the changes. Granger behind the plate for Emma Parrish. So Johnson is at short. Moreno's at third. I think the right side of the infield is the same. There's a pitch that's high from Parrish for Cheyenne Marquez. That is ball one. 11-0, Lady Buffs lead this one, top of the fourth inning. Marquez has singled her last at bat back in the second inning. Parrish comes home with it. That's going to be low for a ball. So 2-0 the count on Marquez. There's still action in the WT bullpen. Action in the UTPB bullpen as well. Parrish. Pitch misses just outside. Granger did a nice job to frame that one. So 3-0 the count. So Parrish comes home with it. Got a nice pitch there for a strike. So 2 balls and a strike on Marquez. Again, Marquez singled in her only at bat here earlier. In the first game today, she was 0 for 1. She did walk once, but struck out as well. So Marquez, 3-1 count. That's going to be high for ball 4. So Marquez is going to get aboard with a walk. First walk given up by Parrish, the third by WT pitching. So she'll be over at first base, and that brings up Aubrey Beggs. This may be a pitch hitter. And it is. So now Kelsey Vallo is the pitch hitter for Beggs. Looks at a strike. So Vallo is a freshman from Weatherford, Texas, batting from the right side, facing Emma Parrish. That's fouled off at the plate. So Vallo down in the count 0-2. Good chance for both coaches to get a lot of players in this one today. Michael Book has gotten more in today for WT. Vallo settles in, batting from the right side. Outside corner, strike 3. There's a throw down to first base in time for the putout. And so Marquez, who was kind of off, had to retreat, and she was thrown out 2-3 for out number 2. And Vallo strikes out. So we look at that on the replay. And so you watch this, strike him out, throw him out, as Velo with 2 strikes. We await the pitch, and there it is for strike 3. Quick throw down from Granger for the throw out. Here's a pitch that swung on and fouled out of play for. Now this is a pitch hitter. This is Ariel Aguilar from Fontana, California. Aguilar. Batting from the right side. She's pitch hitting for Sanford. That pitch is outside for a ball. Runs the count even at 1-1. The senior bats from the right side, settles in ready to go. 2 outs now in the inning. Top of the 4th. And that is just low for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike for Aguilar. Ariel settles it back in, even stance, kind of close to the plate from the right side. Ariel ready to go. Driven down the first base line, fouling out of play. Nice shot on that one. Evens the count at 2-2. So they retrieve the base softball, get it back to Emma Parrish. Top of the 4th inning, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Aguilar settles in, batting from the right side. Pitch on the way. Fouled off down the right field line and out of play. Salzman, we do look at the changes now. Salzman and Moore. So Moore is in left field, Ruby Moore. And Maddie Geidel is in right field for the Lady Buffs. Pitch is strike 3. Nice pitch. And Aguilar striking out, 2 back-to-back strikeouts. And that ends the top of the 4th. No runs. No hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. So we'll take a timeout. We're checking to see, yeah. We'll take a timeout, be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
As we get set for the bottom of the 4th inning. Ruby Salzman is due up, but instead of her, it will be Riley Steiner, 5'7" sophomore from San Ramon, California.
Number 21, Riley Steiner.
So Steiner comes up. We'll get a chance to hit here in the bottom of the 4th. Lady Buffs lead it 11-0. First pitch misses for ball 1. Steiner. Infielder settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Off-speed pitch is low from Riley Johnson. Runs the count to 2-0. Riley had a rough third inning. Did get a strikeout, but she also had 5 walks. Gave up 5 runs on 3 hits in that inning. Left 3 on base. She came on in relief of Evelyn Duran, who only pitched 1 pitch in the third inning. Riley was pressed into service because of an injury. That pitch is low and inside. So ball 4. That sends Riley Steiner down to first base.
The DP, number 32, Emily Boyer.
That'll bring up Emily Boyer. So Emily Boyer will settle in, ready to go. She now becomes the designated player. She looks at ball 1. Evan Marino is in the on-deck circle. That one way inside. Emily does a nice job to get out of the way. 2-0 the count. I don't know, we don't have any statistics to know how far Riley Johnson has gone before. She has pitched an inning. This is her 53rd pitch right here. High for a ball. There was action down in the UTPB bullpen area a while ago, but nobody down there right now. Riley Johnson, third pitcher used in this game. Nice pitch inside for a strike. So 3 balls and a strike for Emily Boyer. Freshman settles in, ready to go. And that one hits Boyer in the ankle. So she's hit by a pitch and will go down to first base. So runners at first and second for the Lady Buffs. That'll bring up Heaven Marino.
Third baseman number 13, Heaven Moreno.
See if they're going to get a pitch runner for Emily Boyer. I think Michael Book thought about it, and then he's going to head back to the third base coach's box. So Marino, who walked her last at bat, set a pitch inside for a ball. Bottom of the 4th inning, Buffs lead it 11-0. They won game 1 8-0. That's driven down to the first base side. That's nice play by the first baseman, but she throws it out into left field. Here's the throw at the plate. And so Heaven Moreno is retired, 3 unassisted for out number 1. But Riley Steiner comes home to score on the wild pitch. That's an error. So the Buffs lead at 12-0. That'll bring up Lauren Granger. Granger pitches high for a ball. Granger settles back in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Granger's 1 for 1 at the plate today with a hit. That one gets by the catcher. Quick throw down to third base, not in time, so advancing to third is Emily Boyer. So Lauren Granger will settle back in with the 1-0 counts. That's hit past the first baseman for a base hit. Another run comes home as Granger now is 2 for 2 at the plate today. Drives in a run. As Emily Boyer comes home. Watch the at-bat for Lauren Granger. As that one just right down the right field line. In for a base hit, and again plates a run. So Lauren over at first base. That'll bring up Maddie Geigel. Geidel, who walked her last at bat, will come up. The junior from Kewaskum, Wisconsin. I apologize. Kewaskum, Wisconsin. Batting from the right side, looks at a pitch. It's high for ball one. Maddie playing in right field now. She came on for Julie Guzman. And one's inside for a ball. 2-0 the count for Geidel. Nikki Warren in the on-deck circle for the Lady Buffs, leading at 13-0. They've scored 2 runs here in the bottom of the fourth. Inside corner misses for ball 3. So 3-0 the count on Geidel. Runner at first base is Lauren Granger. Driven down the third baseline, man, that was hammered. But that just turns into a long foul ball. So runs the count to 3 balls and a strike. And Maddie just hammered that one. Looking at Coach Mook, who says you just missed on the timing on that one. She got a hold of it. Geidel settles back in, batting from the right side. Ready to go. That's drilled out to left field, and that's over the left fielder's head. Granger will round second, head to third. They're going to wave her home. Geidel heading toward third as she slides in there safely with a triple. Got a hold of that one. Maddie Geidel drives in another run, and the Lady Buffs lead it 14-0 as Geidel connects. So Geidel's walked and tripled today. And that'll bring up Nikki Warren. 5'3" sophomore from Orangeville, California. So quick conversation with the umpires at first and home. Not sure what that conversation was. He's telling the Lady Buffs to go back in the dugout.
Number 24, Nikki Warren.
So Nikki Warren will make her way to the plate. Nikki got aboard on a fielder's choice her last at bat. Good pitch inside for a strike. I think that's the one thing that Sue Mendez is going to see with her freshman Riley Johnson. She's just inconsistent, has some really good pitches, and then some she struggles to find the strike zone. That's drilled toward the shortstop, backhands it on one, throws over to first, not in time. Another run comes home for the Lady Buffs as Maddie Geigel comes home to make it 15-0. And Nikki Warren gets aboard on a single. Gets to second base on the play. So 15-0, Lady Buffs. Scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, and 4 here in the fourth. Megan Gerke looks at a strike. Gerke, the junior from Alexandria, South Dakota, playing over at first base in this ball game. Gerke looks at a pitch inside for ball. That evens the count at 1-1. Gerke settles in, drives this one down the third base line, fouling out of play, kind of hammered at it. So she has a 1-2 count. Gerke, who has popped up to the shortstop, flied out to right field and singled. 1 for 3 at the plate today. Driven in a run. Hammers this towards the shortstop, gobbles it up, throws it over to first in time for the put out. So that's out number 2 as Gerke is retired 6-3. Over at third base is Nikki Warren. So 2 outs. The 8th batter in the inning comes to the plate. Buffs have had at least 8 batters in every inning in this ball game, and this is the 8th as Ruby Moore comes up. Moore from Maple, Wisconsin. Freshman looks at strike 1. So Moore, the 8th batter in the inning. Buffs have scored 4 times. Got a runner at third. That is way inside for a ball. So it evens the count at 1-1. Riley Johnson. Pitched an inning and a third. This is her 69th pitch right here. Off-speed pitch is high for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. There's a check swing foul. I think Riley Johnson's going to need some ice on the old arm after this game. She's quite a few pitches. So Riley steps out of the circle, now steps back in, puts her right foot on the pitching rubber, facing Ruby Moore. Moore sends it past the shortstop for a base hit. 1 run comes home. Moore gets aboard with a single. Nikki Warren comes home to make it 16-0.
MJ, match your number. Shortstop number 17, Madison Johnson.
That'll bring Madison Johnson up. Madison will step in, batting for the right side. First pitch swinging, pops this one up to the shortstop, and she's going to pull that one in for out number 3, as Madison was the 9th payer to go to the plate in that inning, and she is out number 3. But the Lady Buffs do get 5 runs on
It's time for the Racing Kings
2 hits.
Get on your feet and dance for your
There were no errors in the inning and 1 left on base. We have played 4 complete. Lady Buffs lead this one 16-0. We'll take a timeout and be back after this.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Morgan McQueen is the new pitch hitter for the UTPB Lady Falcons. The sophomore from Allen, Texas. Batting from the right side will come in. McQueen. First pitch, looks at a strike. On in Emma Parrish. Back on. Pitching here in the 5th inning. Comfortably in front, 16-0. Pitch is inside for a ball. They're going to see if she went around. The umpire at first base said no. So that evens the count at 1-1. McQueen settles back in, batting from the right side. Pitch is outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Emma Parrish working in her 2nd inning of relief. Emily Boyer pitched 3 innings. Allowed 2 hits. Walked 2, struck out 3. That's going to be low for a ball. Actually, Emma Parrish allowed 3 hits. No runs have come across today so far for UTPB. They were blanked in the first game, 8-0. Trailing in this one, 16-0. That pitch misses. So runs account full at 3-2. Megan McQueen settles back in, batting from the right side. Lady Buffs settle in defensively, ready to go. Parrish's pitch fouled off at the plate. That goes in the UTPB dugout. Emma Parrish. Right-hander from Frankfort, Illinois. Comes home with it. And off-speed pitch got her swinging. And so McQueen strikes out. That is the 3rd strikeout for Parrish. She has 3, Boyer has 3. You can watch here on the replay. She comes home with it. Just got her swinging. Nice pitch from Emma Parrish. I think we have a pitch hitter for Julie Bumford. We'll check here momentarily. Parrish. First pitch is in there for a strike. Actually, the pitch hitter is Blanca Urdialis, a freshman from San Antonio. She's in for Ariza. Urdialis looks at a ball, evens the count at 1-1. Alicia batting from the right side. Pitch is high for a ball. So 2-1, excuse me, is the count for the freshman from San Antonio. She settles in from the right side. That pitch is fouled off at the plate. So it runs the count to 2-2. Alice pitch is fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 2-2. Last 3 outs for Emma Parrish have been strikeouts. Good fastball. And swinging for strike 3. Gutierrez strikes out, the 4th strikeout for Emma Parrish. And that'll bring up another pitch hitter as Madison Brown, a freshman from Adel, Texas. Or Axtell, Texas. Madison Brown comes up to hit for Bumford. Freshman batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch, fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Emma Parrish is just getting stronger with each batter she faces. That pitch misses low for a ball. It's interesting, you can see and hear WT Lady Buffs all into this with each pitch. They are ready to celebrate, leading 16-0 over UTPB here in the top of the 5th. Trying to get this last out to claim the victory. And that one gets away from Granger, the catcher. She runs it down. 2 balls and a strike on Madison Brown. Brown will settle in, batting from the right side. That pitch is going to be off speed and outside. Runs the count to 3-1. Emma Parrish trying to get Brown to take the bait and go after that one outside, but just couldn't get her to pull the trigger. Buffs 3 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, 5 in the fourth. Leading 16-0. That pitch is high for ball 4. So Brown gets the walk. Second walk given up by Emma Parrish. And a base runner for UTPB. Brings up Stephanie Jimenez, who is 2 for 2 at the plate today. Jimenez. She is 2 for 4. She was 0 for 2 in the first game, but 2 for 2 here in the second game. Looks at a strike. This is Jimenez's first chance to face Emma Parrish. Her first 2 hits came off of Emily Boyer. She got 2 of the 3 hits that UTPB had against Emily. That's hit out to center field, and back to pull that one in is Saltzman. And she pulls that one in for out number 3. Jimenez flies out to center field for out number 3. So no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. And that's the ball game. The Lady Buffs win this one by a final of 16-0 as they improve to 14-0 on the season. And, of course, they're 5-0 in Lone Star Conference play as UTPB falls to 4-12. And they are 1-7 in Lone Star Conference play. We'll take a timeout, come back and wrap things up, go down and do some interviews down on the field as well. But again, the big win for the Lady Buffs as they take this one 16-0 over UTPB. We'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Welcome to MediDrive Pharmacy. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to console you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly professional service and the highest quality of medicine and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your health care needs.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
My first question before we got going was, how much fun is it in a game like this one today?
Yeah, it never gets old. Winning's just fun, and we kind of build that within our team culture. Just winning is fun, and it's just contagious. The more we win, it gets better each time.
Coach Mook was able to go to the bench and get a lot of players in today, and it seemed like the entire bench was just enthralled with that as well, getting everybody to come in.
Yes, sir. I mean, we love to put up runs so the other girls on the bench, our other teammates get a chance to get out and show how hard they've been working, and they did. Girls from the bench got base hits, scored some runs, and that's what we need. That's what we love to see.
Yeah, the second game, let's see, make sure I got the right one. Yeah, you had a single, a home run, a single, and then Riley came in for you, and she walked and scored. So a lot of action from that position.
Yes, sir. I mean, Riley, I was stoked when I heard that she was going in for me. She's a great kid. She works hard, and it pays off for her.
Talk about it from a senior's perspective, because you do have a lot of young players on this team. How do you blend everybody and get them to come in and kind of buy in not only to what you're trying to do, but also just to the overall culture?
Oh, being old, I know I got a chance, to win the national championship and just kind of remind them, how hard we have to work and how it takes to be great. And, I think they buy in right away, knowing the seniors have been through it, or even some of the other girls, and they just want to be good. And I think that once we're all on the same page, we're doing great right now. We just got to keep rolling.
Yeah, 14-0, that's a good way to start the season, obviously. And so the other thing, too, I was going to ask you is, when you have young players that come in, like today, where you got a lot of players in, are you just cheering from the bench, or if you see something, are you telling them you see something and what it may be?
What do you mean?
From a standpoint of what a pitcher's doing, or what's kind of open?
Oh, absolutely. We definitely communicate well between hitters, and I think that that's what is helping us right now. We're just communicating hitter to hitter, pitch to pitch, and we want to help them any way possible, because if we know, we want our teammates to know, help them out.
So Ruby, again, has, 26, 27 awards. I don't know how many they've given to you so far. But as you said, winning just makes everything so much nicer.
Oh, yeah. At the end of the day, winning a national championship is number one thing that I want on my list. I have one, another one would be awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to be greedy, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ruby Salzman joining us here on the post-game show. Congratulations, and good luck tomorrow on your game as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Ruby joining us here on the post-game show. Michael Mook joins us here. Coach, congratulations. And so I need to get that kind of a jacket so for when it gets a little cooler. Talk about the games today from the standpoint that in game one you won that 8-0. Again, you got a lot of players in. You were able to substitute. And I guess from a coaching standpoint, the nice thing about it is there's really no drop-off.
Yeah, absolutely. It was awesome to see. We have a lot of kids that are working really hard every single day, so it's fun to see when they get out there, they get the job done, and they take advantage of their opportunity.
And then, of course, in the second game, same thing. But what was encouraging to me, too, a little bit, it was just the camaraderie of everybody out there just cheering on whoever was out here.
Absolutely. That's the coolest part, I think, about being a part of our team, is that usually the person that's cheering the loudest is the person that got replaced by somebody, because they want to see their teammate as somebody they practice with every day. They help out. They want to see them be successful. And I feel like if you have that kind of a culture, that good things are going to happen.
Did you feel coming into this one today, again, the wind was blowing out, but really not a lot of home runs, but scoring 24 runs in the two games is, I know you don't have the crystal ball and you're saying that's going to happen, but when that happens, do you kind of anticipate sometimes?
It's nice putting up runs. I know that. It definitely takes the pressure off from the defense. It allows our pitchers to be a little bit freer and go after batters. I'll take it. Anytime we can get offense like that, I'll take it for sure.
And talk about the pitching a little bit, too, in this one. Really nothing. There's been one or a few shots to the outfield, but everything kind of stayed in.
Yeah, we're so lucky to have as many good pitchers as we have. Just the depth, I think we're a really hard team to prepare for, because any of our pitchers, they can come out and just shut teams down.
Yeah, you weren't at all afraid to go to the bench and bring anybody in. Okay, tomorrow morning, a little earlier, got moved up to 10 o'clock because of the high winds expected and whatever else is going to happen in the Panhandle weather. And so what do you have going for tomorrow?
Yeah, we're just going to come out. We want to just make sure we're a better softball team when we leave tomorrow than we are when we get there.
Do you feel like that leaving today as you go to not only to the dugout, but as you go home and get ready for tomorrow?
Absolutely. I thought our kids did a really good job of just being locked in and focused, and everybody that came in did their job and got better. So I think today was definitely a success.
Well, congratulations on both wins, and get ready for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
All right. Appreciate it. Michael Mook joining us on the post-game show. Again, the Buffs, Lady Buffs, I should say, win today 8-0 in game one, won game two 16-0. And again, as we just talked about, the game tomorrow will be moved up because of weather conditions, so it'll start at 10 o'clock right here, Schaefer Park. Come on out, enjoy, sit back and relax and have some fun watching the Lady Buffs play. 14-0, trying to make it 15-0 after this homestand. That'll do it here from Schaefer Park. I'm Bryce Sheets filling in for Lucas Kinsey. Big thanks to the Thunder Vision crew for bringing you all the pictures of today's game. Until next time, right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.